doing, everybody? DommyGun Rici here. Who-Bangin Sports Talk. Thursday morning, June 8th. How's everybody doing today? Glad you are coming aboard. Love being doing these baseball lighted ups, man. I've been having a good time doing it. Thursday morning, Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. We'll try to squeeze some more in. I need to get a couple more of my old school friends to come and do some shows with us. Maybe get some at night. I'm not the greatest nighttime guy to do the picks the night before. I don't really cap that way. The way I cap is a little bit weird. I guess, or maybe it's really the way most of us cap. We should be capping a lot the night before. We should be trying to grab the early lines and stuff like that. But let's face it, guys. We don't all do it. Most of us don't do it. Most of us, it takes a while to get to that point of doing it. Our schedules, our lives, our work. It's tough, man. The way I cap, really, and the way I like to think I cap, and the way I like to talk about sports gambling to you guys and sports betting is the way I do it. And that's the only way I can. I've had success in MLB the last 4 or 5 years now. I had 1 year that wasn't so great, and that was the COVID year. Baseball just seems to be the sport that really I got better and better at as time goes on. So that's the one I concentrate on. I'm trying to get better at a couple other sports. I believe in that you don't have to bet every sport and all that kind of stuff. And the reason why I'm saying all that stuff right at the beginning of the show is because that's the things we need to be talking about. Tons and tons of new gamblers coming on board. Sites opening up everywhere. Gambling, whether it's good or bad, it's here to stay, right? And of course, there's good and bad on both sides, and that's something that we will talk about in the future. But what I'm getting to is we put together at Who-Bangin Sports Talk a sports betting workshop, sports betting guide, however you want to label it. It's really something that I've been working on personally myself for a lot of years. I scrapped a million different ideas, but I did realize after starting it that I can't do it alone, and I didn't want to do it alone from the beginning. I'm not the all-know-all. I wish I was. If I was, I'd be living in a mansion, right? So on sports betting, right? Or living in a mansion, period. Not that I do, but what my point being is that we all could learn, and guys like me who've been around for a long time, man, we've been through the whole gambit of sports betting from the beginning to all the changes, and there's been a lot. And the guys like me who have adapted all the way, adapted every which way, brought in young guys, able to work together with, all different, age groups and all different, people that come at this from different approaches. A lot of the younger guys now taught me a lot, especially with the computers and the analytics and things that, that got me away from less feel and more actual data. I learned that from the new guys. I didn't learn that that came along the way. Like I said, there's a lot of guys like me. I'm just putting myself in that category. But I think I have a lot to offer in that subject. I think the people I'm going to have on with me doing this is going to have a lot to offer. And let's face it, you guys, especially the new ones, could learn. And not make the mistakes that we made, or the mistakes that I've learned from and are now using and now profiting from. Well, at one time I didn't profit from them, so let's be real about that, right? So and that's sports betting, right? But tonight, 8 p.m., me and DJ Big Boss will be on Who-Bangin Sports Talk, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our first installment of Beyond the Odds sports betting workshop. That's going to be good, I think, for the novice, for the new guys coming up. And I think also for guys like us that we all go into, we all go into downturns. We all go into, spots that gets a little rough, that gets a little crazy. And we could all use that refresher course, and we could all, get back into talking about things, and maybe you're missing something that you were doing that you didn't do. Maybe there's something I could tell you that, maybe you should be doing that would help you get, out of that little down, turn that we all go through, let's face it. But that's what the sports betting workshop is about. I could have probably said it better like this. Come join me, DommyGun Rici, June 8th. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a special Who-Bangin event called Beyond the Odds. It's the first in a series of workshops completely dedicated to make you better at the game of sports betting. Whether you're new to this crazy world, this growing community, or a more seasoned handicapper, these workshops are geared to help you go beyond the stats, beyond the records, beyond the odds, and dive into everything from the basics to how the pros become successful. So join me and my partner, DJ Big Boss, for the first installment, June 8th, 8 p.m., right here on Who-Bangin Sports Talk. Good job, DJ Big Boss. He did a good job with that. Now I'm getting to be like a real, like the DJs in the old days. They would put on the long songs like "Stairway to Heaven" and for the older, real older like me, "In the God of Vida," and that would they could go take their smoke break and they could go do what they have to do. So I like those little commercials. I could, do what I had to do what this show's all about, light it up, right? So anyhow, let's go. Let's get going. I got some picks for you today. We're not going to be on here all day. Let's see if we can hit some baseball. First of all, in New York, as most of you know, I am in New York. I am in Franklin Square, Long Island. It's like the New York City, Long Island borderline. I'm 10 miles east of Citi Field, maybe 25 from Yankee Stadium. Anyhow, the point being, today the weather is better, the air is cleaner. There will be a Yankee game. There's a doubleheader. I did not cap it because I did not know what was going on with this weather. This morning when I got up, it was about 4:30, 5 o'clock. I checked. It was still like kind of smoky out. But as the wind changed, and it is a little bit more windy today. I don't think wind that would be an issue with this game. But you should check the weather today for that Yankee game as far as wind direction, because it seems like it's getting a little windy. But I guess the shift in I'll turn my head. I'm looking out the window. The shift in wind, I guess, is why, or maybe these fires are dying out. I don't know. But yesterday was unbearable. They even canceled the Liberty game inside Madison Square Garden. I mean, it really was that bad. And I know you guys out in California are probably like, you wussies in New York, like we deal with this shit all the time. And I agree with you, man, because we're not used to that. We are not used to that at all. And what I dealt with yesterday, I don't know if it was something that could be, I don't know how bad it was compared to, different parts of California and different sites. I mean, in California, when you're 100 miles away from that damn fires, I could just imagine how sometimes it could be. So anyhow, as far as the New York baseball is concerned, as far as that end of New York baseball is concerned, there's a Yankee game, doubleheader. So I'll cap it and put it out on Twitter, and we'll see what comes up with, with our friend Jimmy the Bag show at 11. They'll have a cap on that game. We'll see what happens. I'm not even sure what time the first game's going to be. I didn't even look. I believe it's later in the afternoon, kind of one of those. Okay. As far as New York sports is concerned, I didn't cap the Met game. I mean, of course, I looked at it, but there's nothing. I know the Braves and the Mets by heart. I could do a cap on the game on the fly without looking at anything, even guessing what the pitchers are. I knew who they were going to be. I don't know. The Mets the last two nights, they came off. What they haven't been doing is hitting early, and they did the last two nights. But, 6 hits, 4 hits the night before. That's not going to work. Atlanta had 14 hits last night. I thought Max was going to come out, and we needed Max last night to come out and have a good outing, and he didn't. And besides we playing terrible, I'm not making excuses, but we get no luck either at all. It's just brutal. Verlander today, his last start was a gem. Quality start. Gem start. Leads off the game with a home run to Springer, and then shuts him down for the rest of his start. We give up a 3-run homer in the ninth and lose the game. But he had a great start. The start before that was a bomber in Colorado that I said we should throw out. And I was right about the cap. And it was one of the few nights that I take the Mets money line to win. And I took them that night, and they didn't do it. I took them in the series against the Blue Jays, and they just blew all 3 games. It was just brutal. So the Mets, I don't know right now. I don't want to say it's a little bit early to say what I'm really thinking, but my thoughts are not good. But let's get to baseball today. I've been had a pretty good week. Some good games. Let's start with today. Early game, 12:30. Dodgers and Reds. Kershaw and Ashcraft. Tough game as far as, Kershaw's Kershaw, right? The legend, but he hasn't been pitching great lately. And Ashcraft has been pitching terrible lately. 6.94 ERA. 3 out of 4 starts had. 3 out of 4 starts he's been in Hall. He's lost. He's facing this tough Dodger lineup. 7 earned runs. Last 2 home starts. They got hard hit the whole game. He has a home ERA of 8.49. He has a 300 opposing batting average is 300. You don't really see that too often. You see 270s, 280s, whatever, which is high. You don't see 300s that often. 6 home runs in the last 20 innings, 21 innings, whatever. Sometimes I can't even read my own writing. But that's Ashcraft, right? We know about Ashcraft. But something about Cincinnati, and it's an angle I've been hitting on, and they're in the top 3. I forget who was first, second, and third, but they're in the top 3 of teams in the first 5 at home who are hitting over 2.5 at like a 68% clip. So it was them, it was the Rangers, and it was Tampa Bay. Tampa was in the lead at, I believe it was 72%. I believe the Rangers were second at 70, and Cincy was 68, or vice versa. I don't think that 2% really matters in much. But they were hitting at a 68% rate, let's say, over 2.5 the first 5. Now, today that first 5 was only 1.5. And I don't know, it kind of spooked me for some reason. I don't really know why, but it kind of spooked me for some reason. So what I did do was bet the over full game team total over 3.5 at minus 115 for the Reds. I also bet which I do every once in a while. I know a lot of people don't do it. The run hit error line, and I've been trying to figure out a correlation of that to totals. And what I've been finding, and I mean, I need some more games. I need to do it maybe 10 times, maybe 20 more times before I can come out with a legit stat. But when you take those totals times 3 and then add 2 is what I use. And if that number is a lot different from the line, I take it. So, for example, today's Dodger game. Now I'm seeing a 9.5 at DraftKings, but I seen 10 all over the place today. And what I did was bet over 28.5 run hits errors. You know, when there's a home run, that's 2. That's a run and a hit. It gets counted for 2. And why I don't like playing over hits. But the run hit error line was 28.5. If you add up the 10 times 3, even 9.5 times 3, but 10 times 3 is 30 plus 2, and I put that plus 2 in just for like a variation in case there's a couple extra errors, a couple things like that, just to make it more of a harder thing to hit. So then if the data shows that it's good, then it might be a real good pick. So the 28.5 was a lot way under 32, which I came up with the number 32. So I took the over 28.5. We'll see if it works. It's something I'm working on. I'm not telling you to do it. Right now, I've done it 23 times this year, and I've lost 10 of them. So I'm 13-10, and none of them have ever been over a minus 120. But it's not enough. I think as I'm looking at that, I should get to 50 before we have a real thing. Good morning, DJ Big Boss. Hope you're ready for tonight's workshop. Can't wait to do it. Poker Addicted, love you too, man. I really appreciate when you guys come on, man. Abel's always here too. A lot of guys come on, and we really appreciate it. I'll be straight with you. We need the help. We really would love for you guys to try to put our name out there as much as you can. We're just trying to build our channel, and everybody associated with us right now are guys that have been around for a long time. We're not trying to compete with anybody. We're not trying to trying to knock somebody out of the park or anything like that. We're just, and the way we do things is just organic. We talk about sports the way we would talk to you if I was next to you. Same way DJ does, Big Ragu, everybody. Mr. X Nizzled, Jimmy Gomez, Tease. That's how we do it, right? So, Wham. So, that's how we're going to try to, that's how we talk about it with you guys. We talk about real sports betting, and we appreciate you guys coming on. So thanks a lot for that. So my first picks of the day are Reds team total over 3.5 minus 115. and over 28.5 runs hit error line, minus 115. That was only a half a unit, by the way. I can tell you that on the road, Dodgers have been 21 out of their last 30 games on the road have been over. I believe Cincinnati at home has like an 18 and 13 or whatever over record. It have more overs than unders. That's what I like. I think Kershaw could get hit. I think in that park is we know how Cincy's park is, and I stuck with the totals. The line was too high. The betting splits have to the total. They have it 66% to the over. I seen DJ said 66% to the over. So the money line minus 225. So you guys know I don't play like that. I don't think any of us play like that, including my friend Razor Sharp Picks. I don't think he plays too many minus 225s. I think he's sharp enough to find another way to attack a game like that. So good morning, Razor. Glad to have you aboard. Hope everything's going good with you. Grit and grind. Morning, gents. So there we go. The second game that we're going to go with is, let's go with the Astros. The Astros is another game I'm on. The Arizona versus Nats. Listen, Kelly against Joshua Gray. Not to make this a long-winded thing, but Joshua Gray, if you look at his numbers, man, he just kind of been going downhill and downhill as it's gone on. 65 strikeouts in 67 innings is not what I would call great. 19% K rate, 11+% walk rate, 3 home runs his last 3 starts. He's walking more hard hit. I don't know. I thought Gray was going to be a little bit better this year. So far, he hasn't been. We'll see what happens. Now what's going to happen now, we're going to get closer and closer to the All-Star break. Things are going to start changing. Kelly is one of the guys I like. I like the D-backs. They've been winning a lot. Kelly, 2.8 ERA overall, 27% K rate. That's great. 10% walk rate. That's not the greatest. Needs to get those walks down. On the road, 27 and 2/3 innings, 1.63 ERA with only a homer allowed. The Nats pen isn't great. The Nats versus righties, their ISO and the WRC plus isn't good. I believe the WRC plus is 88, which was a good. And basically, it all comes down to is I couldn't bet Arizona at that big line. And I took a rare run line. I don't take too many run lines, minus 1.5, but I took it at plus 105 at Bet US, and I can't see. Listen, between Joshua Gray and the Nats bullpen, I don't see Arizona losing this game. I could see some runs maybe in this game. I didn't check the weather, but that's where I went. So that was the second game that I am on. The third game is a good one. It's another a good matchup too today. Been a good matchup all series. We're going to probably see these two, obviously, in the playoffs. And that's Houston versus Toronto. Let's see if this works. Houston versus Toronto. And let's see, go down here. Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, so we got Houston versus Toronto. Valdez, the ground ball king, lefty, versus Berrios. And like Berrios, you throw your hands up in the air like with this guy. Like, and watch, he could come out today. Very Willie could come out today and pitch great. But I just don't see it, and I'm banking against it. I got Valdez. When you see him under 140 like that, I think you got to jump on him. I got him at minus 120. I hope Alvarez is playing. I know it's the last game in the series. He's been playing a lot. Guy's been a beast. And I can see him doing well today, Berrios. If you guys like those home run props, Alvarez might not be a bad way to go. But Valdez's starts, the Astros won all 5 of his starts, all by the run line, by the way. So they won, by more than one run. And the Blue Jays the Blue Jays have been great. Blue Jays been great all year long. Really, versus righties, they've been really good. Today they're versing a lefty, but versus righty, they're top in OPS in baseball in their last 30 games. But versus lefties, now check this out, and it's a little skewed. They have the lowest team OPS and ISO, but they also have the lowest plate appearances against lefties. So that's probably going to increase like their BABIP is a little low, and they have a low K rate against the lefties. So I could see them getting better against lefties, but not Valdez. 2.16 ERA, 7 innings, 7 Ks, 0 earned runs his last out against the Angels. 26.9% K rate, 16.6 ground ball rate. Astros versus lefty are hitting. You know, the Astros beat the Blue Jays in that game one versus Manoah, who's a lefty. So the obvious pick is that did work. Houston -120. That's what I picked. Trying to get cute with that. Last game on the board. Did you like that, DJ? I hope you're watching. Put some of your good work to. This game I like a lot. It's the Baltimore Orioles. I took Baltimore -114. I think this line's going to keep on going up. Opened up at -110, and now the Brewers went from favorite to dog. And if anyone that knows me, I get surprised, Razor, when I could pull something off like that. So get back to what I was saying. The Brewers, they went from favorite to dog. And if you guys know, when I see those dogs to favorite, I talk about it and bet it all the time. It's such a great angle. I mean, it's just so easy and common to think about, but it really works. Especially when it's on that low end, like a -110 to like a +105 or something like that. They're usually just money, you know. But like I said, the line opened that way. And listen, Bradish against Ray. I mean, they're not Rhea. They're not both the greatest pitchers, but I like Baltimore's pen better than the Brewers' pen. Ray is definitely the worst of the two pitches. And I wouldn't be surprised if this game went over. 11 innings. His last 11 innings, 2 starts against the Giants and Reds. 7 earned, 3 homers in 11 innings. He has like a fastball like 93 miles an hour. It's nothing great. He has an expected ERA of 4.51, which is better than his 4.94 ERA. So I guess they're expecting him to pitch a little bit better. Bradish, 274 expected opposing batting average. Bradish has an opposing team's batting average is around 274. He does have like a 45% hard hit rate, but here's the problem with Bradish. He mixes in 5 pitches, and if I don't know, maybe it's me, but you see guys mixing in all those pitches all the time. They're never really great at 1 or 2 of them. You see those pitches where they have like 4 pitches, 4 pitches, they're like dominant in 1 or 2. And Bradish seems to be like, you know, I heard one guy say it, he said it great, pitch 5, pitch none. In other words, you're not going to be great at any of them. You're spreading yourself out too thin. I think that could be an issue. Baltimore's pen, 3.46 ERA. Milwaukee's pen, 4.36 ERA. I like Baltimore in this. I think the line's going up. I caught them at -114. I think it was a good price. That's what I took. I wrote down a couple of things I found out just to keep you guys ahead in the game with the numbers. Home favorites off a win are getting 5 cents or more steam on the next game today, which would be 68% win rate, 10% ROI if you bet all the home favorites this year off a win, getting 5 cents or more steam. Non-division road favorites off a win, 64%, only a 3% ROI. It's like a grinder one, right? But still something to keep your eye out. Non-division road favorites off a win. They're hitting about 64%. What else do I got for you? Just let me go over my plays. Astros -120. D-backs -1.5, -105. Orioles -114. Reds team total over 3.5, -115. Half a unit run hit error line in that same game, 28.5, -115. That's what I'm doing today. I'm gonna cap this Yankee doubleheader. I don't know what the hell to do with the Mets. What's up, Don Play? What's happening, my brother? So tonight, if you guys are around, please stop in. and say hello and watch our first installment of Beyond the Odds. We're gonna do one a month. As the months go on, I'll try to get everybody, the guys I know that would want to do something like this, and guys I know that could be helpful, to join us, to do a little spot for us. We reached out to everybody. It's not just a Who-Bangin. It's a Who-Bangin thing, but we're friends with everybody, and we plan on using everybody because it's all going to be helpful to even us. It helps us in a lot of ways, and it's going to help everybody else to be better at sports betting. Man, that's the name of the game. I talk about it all the time. I don't want to be able to say I'm doing better. My show's doing better than this show, or my record's better than that. What the hell does that do for my pocket? I want my record to be as good, and we have of all of us, right? I want us all to win money. It's more fun when we all win money together, right? A lot more fun than all losing money together. Anyway, let me get out of here. It is time for. Oh, we got some time before Jimmy the Bag starts at 11 o'clock. But let me get out of here. Get ready for tonight's show. I appreciate everybody coming in. Please give us a like. Give us a shout out at Who-Bangin. We could use it. Trying to grow this stuff. Trying to grow the channel. Even though we've been around for a long time, we just have kind of a different outlook now on it. And just trying to do our own thing, man, like everybody. So next month, we're going to have a nice contest for you guys to be involved with. And it's a little promo for it. I know it says sign up now, but you'll have all the information to sign up. We've been testing this site during the week, this weekend, so testing it to make sure it works right, making sure they keep track of everything. That's the whole thing with these contests, is keeping legitimate track and stuff. That's why it's so hard to do it on your own. You need a service to help you out with it. So that's what we're going to be doing. But you guys will hear about that, and I'll be sure to send one of those out to Razor, get him in this contest. We should have put you in the contest. Actually, we can probably put you in this one. It's only a test one, but just to see what it's like. But anyhow, let me get out of here. I keep on rambling because you know me. I could ramble all day. I'm pretty good at rambling. Sometimes I'm good at gambling, but I'm always ready here to light it up, and we will be back next. So, we will be back Saturday. Maybe I get somebody to come on and talk a little bit about the Belmont Stakes that's coming up. So we'll see what we can do that. Big Ragu, I believe, is scheduled to come on. We'll see if he can make it. That'll be a good show. 10 o'clock Saturday morning. Thanks, guys. Bye.